Yes, man! This is your Newtown boy still with the ghetto film. You see that thing? Hey! Today, I'll go talk to one of my good friends who come this country chair small. No chair. No, chair. Hey, somebody will get like 2 kids. Where did they go uni? Yeah, chair. Anyway, I'll go chat small. I go chat to. Yeah, ready. Anyway, I go check to all my bar in experience for this country small. Maybe who knows, you go feel learn something small from us. So I'm out for. Stay tuned. I'm too loud today. Hi. Okay, I go no that means akwaba.
And I'm say so
like about your life experience over Buchi. Many of how much or never born from more than experience with come.
Oh yes, me buy me 20 years, but me 19 years.
Wow.
Initially, Abroche wasn't an appealing thing to me because I had fame in Ghana. It wasn't like now when we have like with all these social medias being on all these things. But for our time, when you appear in movies and you're on stage and then you're in front of a paper like
graphic showbiz.
Not just graphic showbiz, time. How do you call it? The Saturday one. Spectator, and you're in graphic itself, and you're in PMP, and I even won the Millennium Watch Personality for the year 2000 for a front page cover. And you know who was that? No, when you attend a beauty, you just get exposure. No.
Before, make I tell you the truth. Usually, people where they do or they do modeling. I hear say I am a say almost say na me na member video muchi.
No, but in this case, I had a preparation before that exposure. One, I was already acting and I've been on stage and I knew how to carry myself and communicate. Secondly, in Sono, and I had shot, in those days, I shot at least 5 films before I went on to that. And then, I had a charity. I was the first woman to do the Kaya project. The Kaya project. And so you are taught to go out there. You will meet, once you're an opposite sex and you're attractive, you have people, you get exposure to different sorts of men, businessmen, people in power, people in position, but it's not for them to chase you to go after them. Yeah.
Did you fall into their trap?
No. Nobody trapped me and I did not fall into anybody's trap. You can turn the camera off. Not off camera. No. I did not fall into anything because they just admire you. It's up to you. They admire you and they will support what you do if you know what you're about.
Sister.
Yeah, in our time. In our time, they were very decent.
Social media. Social media
it was very decent. They were very, very decent. And it was a very enjoyable.
They were decent men.
I think so. So when you the mere fact that you've been to, you even have a sponsor. I had a lottery sponsoring me at the time, but that's the end of it. And other people will go, so you give other people opportunity to go. So whatever training you've been given, I said Ghana was beautiful and all those things. You need to go out there. Whatever is been impacted into you within that period of time, because on Gumil to become that person, and you have to go out there and put it into use. So that was what I was doing, but it wasn't enough to maintain the kind of lifestyle I wanted to. Like I said to you, I ended up on the street and I had a challenge for myself. So I wanted to prove to whoever or through which I ended up on the street to know that my destiny has been written as a believer. Like I told you, my father was a pastor at the time, and I wanted to prove that God has the final say to my life. And I was going to ask God for directions and let Holy Spirit lead me to anything that I feel within my spirit to do. And so I started pursuing it. But out of boredom, I joined the acting thing, amateur acting at the Art Center. Out of boredom, I joined modeling, which took me to Miss Ghana. Out of boredom, I decided to look for people who have actually slept on the streets. And some got raped and had children who came into this world out of no fault of theirs. Do you understand? Some people are lucky they don't give birth, but some people are so unfortunate that they have to live with that circumstance for the rest of their lives. In I realized that in my time, most of the beauty pageants were doing street children. But I sat and I said, who gives birth to these street children? Sebi bebre no not truck say juma for no any baby than bebre and I was some. So I actually went to their locations and met them and put some of them together, and then to see if I could help in my own little way. See, during that course, and I realized that I needed more money, that I used everything that I had through the pageant to raise a float for them, to create an awareness. With my boxing career, we had boxing medical people. I got them to be able to give them medical attention. I knew.
Did you create exhibition bouts?
Pardon?
Did you create exhibition fights?
I didn't do that, but I used the resources. I don't create fight. Ghana Boxing Authority creates fights, and all I have to do is to become a judge to tell who wins and who loses, or represent Ghana in outside Ghana. Until I cannot organize a fight. I wasn't a promoter. I am a ring official. A ring official.
The reason why I asked that was that did you influence any fight? Like, and you have influence in a fight?
I judged a lot of fights.
Being a judge maybe gives you an opportunity to probably influence and the promoter to say, okay, I want you to help me promote a fight.
No, that's what I'm saying. That is the job of a promoter. If you're a ring official, you don't promote fights. Ghana Boxing Authority, you're under an umbrella of Ghana Boxing Authority. So you can actually go and do fights. If somebody, a promoter, comes to promote a fight, they will come and contract you through Ghana Boxing Authority to do that. And then when there's a fight outside the country as well, like the World Boxing, which I am affiliated to, but I'm just not active at present, you can also go and do that outside the country, but you will not promote fight. You can, but I didn't. That wasn't my area I wanted to do. I was just doing that because at the time I knew most of the ring officials and the Ghana boxing people, and I just used to go and watch boxing, and they would give me, because I was a model, they would give me a card to actually go in the ring. And I said I told myself that I could do more than holding a card in the ring, so I didn't want to do that. That's what everybody can. I like to do things that people think women don't do.
Okay.
At the time.
What fights have you judged?
Oh, I cannot tell you offhand, but if you Google my name, my present name, like my married name, I'm not married now, but I'm still using my married name.
Okay,
when I came to my married name is Naig. But I still use the Dunyo. He doesn't want me to use it anymore, so I don't want to put it online. But when you go online and you look for Box Rec, I did it up to 2008 when I had my children. Each time I leave my children and go and come back.
So you can't remember any of the fights?
Not offhand, because it's been a while for me. I deal with things at the time, and when I move on, I don't. The reason why I cannot even say anything now is that I intentionally blocked myself. I was addicted to it. It's something I wanted to do, and staying away from it was a big problem. So I had to choose between my ring official duties and my children, and I chose my children. So I stopped myself from even watching fights, just to be able to detach from it, because I wanted to go the passion in it, and when you go, like, you're calmed like a queen, your hotel is booked, you have people waiting on you, and it was very tempting. Back to the UK.
Now no one come, but what brought you to the UK?
Okay, what it was that at some point in my life, I had some publication coming out that I was getting married at the time, which wasn't true. And then what
publication was that?
PMP came out with a publication. I cannot give you the dates, but like I said to you, I move on when things are not relevant anymore. That's how I save things in my brain. I only deal with the relevant things. Okay, I'm dyslexic. I can say it to the camera. No, I am dyslexic, and I'm proud to be one. I even support dyslexic people in secondary schools as I speak right now, because it's just that you learn in another way. Richard Branson is dyslexic. Whoopi is dyslexic. Tom Cruise is dyslexic. So it's a nice thing. I'm telling you, it's a very nice experience. Dyslexic. People don't understand it. More awareness needs to be created in that area, especially most actors and most performers, artists, most of them are dyslexic, but they are very good creators. It means that we think on another side of our brains. Okay, so that is another lecture for another day.
Your brain works, half your brain.
No, all the brain works, but for an intellect person, they use the right brain more, and we use the left one more. So there is nothing wrong with it. So we have to you had to look for ways that you learn. But you said that I had a merit within my masters, and so that is why I chose to do arts, because it's more easier for me to learn with things in that way.
Now she did brag.
I am not, by God's grace. To God be the glory.
Okay, sure. Okay, fine. The background.
Yeah, so he said, why did I come? Why did I come? So I was telling you how the story appeared. Around that time, I couldn't cope with the pressure of me being on the public domain that I was married. When whoever, it wasn't because there was anything wrong with the person that they said I was married to, but the fellow had actually married somebody else, not because he disappointed me, but it wasn't the truth.
So you were running away from the
public. The rumors it affected me badly, because nobody wanted to tag along with me at that time, but not because they were going to chase me. That person had some kind of stigma. Abe Kunyame at the time was a very close friend of mine, and as an actor, Albert, I've known Albert for over 20-something years.
Really?
And we're still here.
Really?
Well, he's a father and I'm a mother now, and we've just been like a brother and a sister. So it's the same with him. But then the press picked it up, and then the other sponsors that I had for my show at the time, if you lived in my time, you will know that it's very difficult to go out and get a sponsor. They didn't want their names in the papers, and they didn't want anybody to tarnish their companies and stuff. So then my money stopped coming in. So that was one. And then two, I wanted that to be retracted so I can carry on, because I was self-employed at the time. And Abeku wasn't prepared to go and do. I couldn't even get hold of him. He had married somebody from America, and I couldn't even reach him. So the opportunity came again. As a ring official, I'm allowed to travel for an annual convention once in every year to any country that is chosen at the time. I wasn't even attending most of them. When it comes, I don't do it. I didn't have time for it. But I took advantage of it. I came here. I met someone.
So are you saying that who could have just got up, picked up that rumors, and then that was it? It messed your life. I take that drastic decision to say.
Yeah, I went back to the PMP at the time. Jordan, his name was Jordan, was the editor. So I went to ask him, who gave you that story, so that I can counter it. He didn't. He said he didn't tell me. He couldn't disclose his source. And then it was everywhere. I even had.
Messed your life up.
They did.
People, right?
They did. But at the time in Ghana, in that time, I mean, we're talking about probably 98, 97. It wasn't easy for you to go and be chasing this thing. I was even feeling so low confidence wise. All my money stopped. Nobody wants to see me. Nobody wants to tag with me. When you call people, they think the press will pick them and bring some kind of story. But later on. Pardon?
Did Jagapi hear of this?
Yeah, he was in the country. I knew he was my friend. I went to. My mom was alive at the time. Oh, may her soul rest in peace. He just didn't respond. I asked him, do you know anything about it? He said no. He didn't know how they got that story.
So he could have come out publicly and said no.
I went to no. It's the same paper that you need to speak to, right? At the time, that was the most popular. Every Thursday morning, it was even more popular than the Graphic.
He said he had a stigma. What was the stigma?
No, at the time.
I know what you're talking about, but maybe
for the public. Okay. If you remember, there was this incident with G-Man, who is Pastor G-Man.
Yeah,
God bless you, Pastor G-Man. I speak to him sometimes. And how do you call it? Him. They both had this issue.
Yeah.
But Pastor G-Man is now a born-again Christian. Abeku is also a Christian too. But then, at the time, tempers were high, and Jima was still in prison, and Abeku had been released.
Yeah,
so people, around then, it was a very complicated and sensitive issue. But as for an actor like me, in my time when we were growing up, every actor is like a brother to you. We live as if we were born by the same moms. I don't know how they live now. We do most things together. So when he came back, it was kind of like an isolation for him. So I lived close to him where he worked. So he was always kind of with me. And because I was doing something in the media as well, he was with a production company. He was writing a book at the time, Prison Prayers. So I was around him. And then he knew I wanted to record a song at the time as well. And he knew Daughters of Glorious Jesus. He knew Susie and Matt. He was friends with Pastor Uso Ansa and all the gospel people at the time. So I met all of them. We used to go to them. So it was like a circle, not just in the acting field, but on the other side. So I needed all those contacts as well. So he helped me break into the the gospel aspect of it.
Mainstream of the gospel.
No, I didn't sing at the time, but I got to meet all these people to get inspiration from there. I met daughters, I used to go to their house, that kind of thing. To form a relationship with them, not to watch them from a distance. So everything was fine. We see each other every time, but when that thing came up, I was a bit upset as well, and I told him to go and retract his speech because he was a friend to the editor at the time. And that is what. So back to why I came here. I was feeling depressed. Now he's married and he's getting on with his life. My mom went there to speak to the family. But Jordan said, apparently Jordan had a girlfriend who was also a model.
With, PNP, right? He
was the editor at the time. And apparently the reason why I was upset with Abeko at the time, I'm not upset with him anymore because I met him in this country as well. He said Jordan told his girlfriend, who is a friend of mine, that Abeko sold the story to them. That was why I was upset. And I asked Abeko, did you sell a story like that to the people? What was it for me? He said he doesn't know anything about it, so I was upset with him.
So
and
he lied.
I don't know whether he lied. Up to now, he hasn't said that. That's what he insisted happened. Even up to now, sometimes when I go work out with my son, people tell me that is Abeku's son. And it's very embarrassing when I got married in this country and I had my son and they will actually point and say that's Abeku's son. It's really sad. I have to defend myself every now and then. So even followed me even to here. And so, I was feeling a bit depressed, not depressed as in mental health, but I felt like, okay, it was time for me to come out. Yeah, I thought around then information available to us wasn't like now that you can read everything. And even if it was available, you choose what you want to read. So I said, okay, let me start opening doors for traveling. So I went to wherever I had to go to the first. I went back to Ghana and reported to the Ghana Boxing Authority. I came back.
The first time you came here,
I went home back.
How was the feeling? How was the experience? Because back home when we think about people,
you mean my experience as soon as I entered? Yeah. You know what? I just realized I had to do.
Sometimes I remember those days. What Ghana says you think it's some sort of a heaven. I see brightness.
Yes.
Like money day on the floor.
Okay.
Because where the people come back from?
Yeah. No, but my sisters were already there. My sister was in Australia. Everybody was here. Most of them were abroad. But so that is why I didn't feel like I wanted to come here. But when I got here, I thought that in my head, I wouldn't say it's that way for everybody. Because if you want to read about, you don't have to be somewhere to know what happens there. But for me, it was a disappointment. When I first came, when I got here, I didn't calculate how I was going to make money in my calculation, my plan of travel.
Was it a holiday?
Yes. So I went for my convention, and then when I came back, I studied a bit, and I thought my boxing convention. And then I stayed for holiday for a while. Then I went back home. Then I realized that I didn't take no money with me because I didn't even think that. I thought probably maybe do a brooch, I'll find the money on the floor or something. I don't know. I don't really know. I didn't think about that. That's why I said I didn't consider how I was going to make the money. So when I came, I just thought I was lucky. Whoever I lived with was outside here after my assignment. Wherever I went to stay with, they treated me very nicely. Everything was accessible to me at the time, but I didn't have any money to go back home. There was no money. It's just a normal thing. So I went back home and I realized that I didn't have no money. I had just a few clothes that were given to me by my host, my host. But the reason why I thought when I come and open those travel stuff, I'll be able to make money. I didn't have the plan to make the money. So, but you didn't really bring money. You didn't bring anything, and I had to keep up with my modeling stuff. I mean, you have to look presentable. At the time, Crown, I was using Fashion Fair.
A broke model.
Exactly. And how you need to wear things to an ex-beauty queen, when we need Crown Pona, we're original queen, and you need to present yourself like that. Who call locations? In our time, you have costumes. You need to provide your own costume.
Thank you.
You have makeup. So while your makeup, and I also you choose to post a trust in the Crown Pona. You would there. Because you have more opportunity to showcase what you have to be able to get other contracts. For me, I was very lucky. I had, I don't go auditionings because they already see me. Most of them, like Augustine Abe, who is Idi Koko then, he was very hot, a good producer at the time. Haji Amezongo, that's civil in production. CC Mills, but they were all people that see us on stage. So when they're doing something, they think you can do that. They just call you to come and do it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so that was it. But if they call you, then you have to make sure you have, your props and everything, you have your costumes and everything to be able to do it. And Sappho Socrates and all those people. My last film I did was with Sappho before I came here. That was the Stolen Bible. No, that was Sidi Koku's one. Whose Fault Too. And so I realized that my buffy back with nothing. And so I remember that when I came in, I met a friend of mine's brother who was interested in me and wanted to marry me. I was wondering whether it was a good decision at the time, because I don't know this person that well. But I've met him in Ghana.
Your friend's brother?
Yeah, a friend of mine's husband. No, I didn't come back. When I came here, I met all those people.
Oh, okay.
I didn't come back. When I got home, when I came here, the fellow met me. I've seen him in Ghana, but we met a year.
Did you have anything to do with him before?
No.
And then he wanted to marry you?
No, when he saw me, he was interested in me, yeah. And then he said he liked me, but he doesn't want this Pentecostal for no.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, then he knows my daddy is a pastor too. My daddy is a Zion Pentecostal, but then my mom was in the Church of Pentecost as well. So those people, they don't have to obey Bibi and Sana. And even me, that was the first time. Me, I'm an entertainer. So it was kind of, hey, what is this? I didn't even understand it. Like I said, me, I don't know what marriage is. And I must confess to you, I didn't even know the difference between, I can adapt anybody to love like a parent, because I went to boarding house from when I was 6, okay? And, then I ended up on the street. So I can just choose you and I love you. I can study you and like you and love you, and you become my family. And home, and I was a bit scared. And I said, okay. So when I was going home, he gave me everything to take home. If I decide to marry him without touching me, I should tell his family back home. I should go and give it to the sister. He bought all the rights.
So I own him. He made the proposal.
Yeah, but man, yeah, me Kofi. I wanted to think about it because that wasn't part of the plan.
So you didn't have a problem then?
No, but I went home because I was on assignment, so I cannot. Yeah, I've been on other assignments.
So when did you decide to come back?
Okay, I told my. That's what I said. When I went, I took the things to his sister in Ghana, and then I told my mom, and my mom said, that among all her 6 children, she's had a vision that I am the one, I'm the only one who is into entertainment. Among all the 5 girls, I am different. None of my sisters are interested in these things that I do. But I'm always out there. So my mom was a bit worried that probably it would be difficult for me to marry. And I was kind of like a bit hyper at the time. Like I like to chase. I was very firm. Like I was like a man. That is why I was doing ring official duties. You were in
the high life at that time.
It could be. Like I was behaving. I was behaving like a man. Okay, but forgive me, I'm not, okay, in those days it wasn't popular, but ring official, that's what I want to do.
In other words, what you're trying to say is that you're behaving like a man in those days.
I was tough.
The guys were players, so you were a player. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say I'm a player, but I was tough. Look, I'm a Zongo girl, so if I'm a Goro girl...
No, we're not talking about Zongo.
No, ask anybody who grew up on the street is tough.
We are not talking about Zongo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Albert, what Jenny is shaping you up to be wherever you have to. What end up on the street you become tough?
I'm not disputing that. The question is, were you a player?
No.
You weren't?
No.
You sure?
No.
Look,
because I didn't have people to say I was playing with.
I have proof.
Oh, you can. Are you Romeo? I'm not Romeo in Ghana. Please, so I watch Ghana every time because of entertainment. Today I'm showing down here YouTube. But I wasn't a player, but not. I wouldn't say I was on a journey. Into what it was is that I wasn't emotionally attached to anything. I didn't even understand marriage at the time. It just journey for me. Once you were thrown back on the street, you're trying to prove to the world that you need to fulfill something. So I was hungry not hungry as in a comfort journey. I was hungry to achieve something.
Successful.
What the woman did, she prevented me from going to the schools I wanted to go to because everything was cash short. And so I had to look for ways to do that. I had to write my O-levels privately with Ghana nurses who are trying to upgrade their staff. I had to go to GIJ and do 6-month course.
Before we lose our way,
yeah. What
happened then when you told your mom about the marriage proposal?
Yeah, and then I confused. I didn't even know what marriage was. Like I'm saying, I haven't read in that area, and I didn't think I was prepared. But when I told my mom, I went back and I told my mom, some people in our culture, in the olden days, no nim nipan like and yes, nim ne say nim ne nim, but yet to me worry them ma. And then you learn to be with the person. Na ebusia we to me hwem tin me ma mo nkɔhwɛ ebusiafo no. Na mo nhwɛ sɛ eye bibia metumi. So they went and my two parents went to see them, and then they also came to see my family, and they realized that they are half from Togo, but they are Ghana based in Ghana. And then me too, you know, my father is from the Volta region, and then my mom is from Wasa, like Takwa. So they said, okay, it's okay. And you know, what Minko na they almost settled down. And you know, they wanted me to come back, and then they wanted to perform the the rites, and then I'll get engaged to him. So I came back upon my mom's advice, and then they did a traditional one at home in Ghana. Came back, and then we did the court registry here. And
did he come back from?
No, my visa, because I became like a diplomat. So say when you're a ring official, yeah, might be to come because it's me first a boxing or baby, and you know I could go in and come. Like anyhow at the time, so I came back. Yeah, and a friend of mine was having a wedding at the time too. And he decided to ban a wedding. Yes, I came to. I did a registry marriage. I didn't even want, because of that experience, I didn't even want a big wedding. I went into the court and with. Because of that publication thing, I had a phobia for hearing that name thing. And when I came, I just asked him. My visa hadn't expired or anything. It's just the diplomat. I came back. I came to my friend's wedding, and I told him we could do They did a traditional marriage home, and then we did the registry here in a court with my sister. I told you my sister is here, the one that I come directly after on my mom's side, and her husband is also a pastor here. All my sisters' husbands are pastors, so they came along, and then we did that here. But my husband at the time had 4 children here already, and so I was living with 2, and 2 were with their moms. And the children loved me. They were even pressing for me to come. You know, they wanted their dad. They wanted me for their dad and all that.
So when you got married, what was the perception? What was the perception that?
Okay, so that was when I had to deal with every new thing. You know, everything was very, very new. One, I had to deal with the weather. You know, here we have 4 seasons, so that alone is a big change. And then I had to deal with learning how to be a traditional woman, but I was psychologically psyched to be able to do that. But I don't think that was enough for the one, because unfortunately for me, the man that I told him about my background, that's one good thing. When I meet you, I just tell you who I am.
So
and I
did he know about your background?
He didn't. I told him, he knew, but he didn't witness it, and that is what I wanted. I wanted somebody who didn't know me.
He was your friend's brother?
No, I said he was a friend of mine's husband's brother.
Oh, okay.
What I say, Madam for worry and a brother. Intina I say, worry and a brother, and Madam for what I say.
Madam for no, also in Saum, like it didn't way connect you.
Yeah. So when I first came, I spoke to him, but I didn't even like his voice. So I didn't call him again. And
why didn't you like his voice?
He sounds, he's French. You know the French have this accent like they call.
Cool accent.
No, not all of them. This one.
No,
Canada. No, try so be country or try so be can but na fun as I been me or can Togo for no more can win.
Okay.
And I was I haven't met any. To be honest, I hadn't met anybody. No, I'm not downgrading or upgrading him. I haven't met anybody like him in my entire life. During my journey, like I said to you, I didn't know much about that area. Yeah.
Honestly. You were going to be honest.
It depends on what, yes.
Okay. Look, from your background, do you think he was below your level or not?
Okay, I wouldn't talk about levels in anything, because like I told you, I moved from grace to grass and back. So I didn't see anything. I could deal with anything. Me, I can sleep on the street. You look at my car, people see me, they call me Obroni, and I laugh. Because the things that I've seen for my skin wouldn't be the same. My mom is just half German. No, I want to come back to the question. I wanted to go round. And you mean Kobe, but the person can level.
You know what I'm asking this?
I won't talk about that. That's what me make sure me nipa buying.
Usually, celebrities, models, omoko ayo be onye celebrity and not onye like nipa and like richer. They have that kind of mentality.
No. I didn't
but
see that.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, that is why I wanted to answer that question in a different way. Now, because I don't deal with level, even up till now. Baby, I deal with connections. I mean, I feel something within me, and I feel like, okay, this is what I'm. But at the time, I even wanted an ordinary person. Now I was tired of meeting everybody that I met at the time was either Obia or you're in charge of something. When I was growing up, I never even dated anybody my age. And I was happy, sir.
When I said when you were doing this model Miss Ghana, Miss Beauty contest thing, I make a say, see
the people that I met. I mean, all the people that I was meeting was in a different kind of circle. So I'm not talking about relationship and intimacy. Okay. And I'm never back to my childhood. So
let me ask So are you saying that throughout the time now we are modeling now?
Yeah.
Only big man be in your relationship.
Davy.
Oh boy.
Davy.
Oh,
Davy.
They lie.
I knew a lot of people, and they still have stations and stuff.
One time, Charlie, you go for.
No. I know. I still know a lot of people who are still in Ghana. They're still very rich.
So you want to say all the big men, where did they chase all these models? Where did they chase?
I don't know about that. What I don't know, I can't say to camera. And I make an antino. But back to a question, a level. To me, I'm saying it to the camera. Me name levels. I'm just a person. I'm a believer. I wouldn't say what faith I am in, because at some point I was a Muslim and then I became a Christian again.
You?
Christian, yes.
You were a Muslim?
I was born a Christian in the mid-90s. I was converted to Islam. Yes, Chief Imam Shaributu was.
Are you serious?
Yes, I still speak to him up to date. Because it's my
name?
father.
What's your Muslim name?
Najat. It's on my passport. It's in my passport right now. But I'm back to Christianity. And
pause. This is big news to me.
Yes, but I can't remember how to play.
She knows me for a long time, and I don't even know. Say.
Because it was for a short time. My parents wouldn't agree when I tubered. I was even doing my NGO for the deprived women. They sponsor me. They'd give me everything. When I go, I do most things with them. So for the kindness they showed me on the streets, I did not meet Christians at the time, apart from Sister Eunice, who took me to her home. Those people gave me everything. Everything between all the times that I was in the contest, what to eat, where to sleep, those people helped me. And I don't know what to say to them. And they didn't force me to do anything. They left it unconditional. So I told my parents, because these people helped me, I think that I'm going to start praying with them. So I started praying, and my mom would see me doing subhanallah, alhamdulillah, and then my mom started crying. And your moms are your moms. So I just said, okay, let me just leave it. They still love me whether I pray or not. So up till date, I still speak to them, even though I'm a Christian.
Okay, fine.
I've answered your question. Because of that, I don't deal with levels. I know that anybody can be anybody. And so to be honest with you, when I met my first husband, I didn't feel like there were levels. I thought I could make it work. So I came to whatever level I thought I could. I wanted to be the good wife that I learned. Now I started researching on how to become, a good wife. And here there are not too many people for you to even to go to. So I learned to be obedient. I learned to cook. I learned to serve the children. I learned to do everything like a normal person. But that means I have to forgo the fame things that I do. So when you're acting in your So that is depressing for the soul, because that is how I find my joy. I wasn't doing acting for money. I was going on stage because there was this emotional loss. And when I find a script and I put myself in, being on the street, when I started acting, I was on the street. That was my way of escape. I wanted to sing in public. That is how I release my emotions. And my husband then wasn't understanding. He doesn't even understand those things. And so it was a bit of a struggle, but it didn't even last for long. Within 3 months, I was pregnant. And then when I had my child, within another 3 months, I was expecting the other one as well. Yes. So that's the intervals between my children. What's funny? You know this, Albert.
No, I didn't know 3 months. Yeah. I can't ask this question. This one I have to test it. Where's your phone?
Four.
Oh, where's your phone?
My phone is in my bag. I'm on set, so I don't use phones.
I can't ask this question. Are they shy self?
Oh, I'll ask. I will answer every question. Everything is made my journey, so I'm prepared to share it. Yeah.
I'm on for now. Can person me test the question?
I me 3 months. I'm in second one. And I was on a pill. I just forgot it at the time, and my son came along.
Oh, things were hot then.
I'm telling you. All I was doing was indooring.
And then 3 months no pay.
Me wo back on 3 months are not back, but in the 4th month. You check.
Hey.
We have my first one and my second one. We are just a year. The 9 months now.
Madam, we are say you. Hey.
But me will be on my YouTube.
I did a friend of condom.
Hey, that's my husband. He is sanctified.
Let's keep that one.
Yes. Hey. But that marriage did not last for long.
Why?
I am not too sure. I think that probably I wasn't matured enough, like what I am now.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Were you giving him problems, or was he the one giving you problems?
I wouldn't say that. Nobody should say that, because it takes two to tango. And so when you're with somebody and it's real marriage and it doesn't work, you cannot blame anybody. It might be that it's not him. It might be that it's not me. So I wouldn't say that he wasn't. He was a bad person. Yes, it's a very, very intense and complicated thing to go on. You need wisdom, you need God. If you believe in God, you need everything to make it work. So I really respect people who are really married like you. And the wife, you know, the wife is also my childhood friend, so I really admire them. And it's a very complicated thing. It takes God to make it stand.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't blame my ex-husband or myself. And because I learned on the path, my husband, I don't think is still married, but I will not go back to him because I don't think it's the best thing to do. If you do that, I've matured in a different way. I have become independent. If I'm saying that marriage lasted for just like a year, or within that year that I had, so I had to bring up my 2 children by myself. He was there to support. I wouldn't say he didn't support. He's a very good person. He supports when he has to. But I am the resident parent with them. And in this country, if you're not together, that means he's a non-resident has a man, and then he had other children as well to take care of, and my one too. So whilst you're independent, you come to this space of being independent. You take decisions for yourself. You're on a whole space.
Before you go on, like you said, Abrochia warrior, marriage in this country is different from marriage when you're in Ghana. That there's so much pressure. Most of the marriages will come on break up. And then I feel say a problem nankasa. There must be some reason. Say more or Queen until most of the time no ma and no power no until diagra a bit too if until when a woman gets that power no yes so kiki. Is that the reason? Me
pacho won say obi a individual until I cannot speak from obi perspective. I can only speak for myself and my experience. So say abroche ni nyina ba obi ani senior ba aware no so no yes e be gu pa ha your back room baby num so aware pa me ni be num at say obi ko ja more than 7 years munim ho so mo adan na say krom ha na mote until na aka minimum adan crofo so mo aware aye ejuma until no mean to me nka say because obi aka it could be 70 research actually say baby, but for me as a person I think it's an individual thing. People have different choices, people have reasons for getting married. Maybe I miss me worry in that time then I can be one world into the other. I don't think say I me banamanya research na me ka say be basically good form no so na me dreams how worry so e be to say not me much about it and e be na me mature to say na and kebi ameya nyoma different but me mature no so na me sisa nipa fofo the persona I had when I was that age enya no na me digina hosisi a lot of things have changed about me and to me question now be say me no mean to me interest say how your back room enti na ebinum aware e your back room so mu gina ho pa aware ne ye omo fenti omo man ye adwuma enti na me kasa aware de ye nyame. So
what do you think you could have done that you didn't do?
I think
with like looking back
I think say at the time no say can I quote the Bible? Yes, we are bofra we dream sa bofra. Probably some many CCA ya. Ebia mishio bia men wearing straight and I say even though that biblically nature say wushi any pa kwa wearing straight. Men wearing straight because and no chin is mishio be impona so because or wearing straight and me yam shime because me feel say me nim ni ye. What I say enti no me feel say aware ye bibia ne kwan wa. and you have to be a bit educated in that. Apart from knowing God, not trusting in God, and you'll be no believing in God. And one person so making sure say what's it at the corner way and I said what we trust in you say you're an actor, right? But you do behind the scenes as well. Me actor, I pay behind the scenes by my film, machine film. And you have the passion for it aside the studies. You should have the passion for marriage. You should be really prepared. So that is, you understand, say, a long-term thing, for better, for worse. Who fear? We like when you're beaten now for a long time, whether who worry will be for some reason, who nipa kwane sabium. Say be me stand in our worry me. You fear your start there. When be a juma besesa, be obi benya accident, be a physics besesa. Me say na me like a size 8. Now I'm a size 16. So what you saying? You go through all these changes. Bibia. I say what cycle what's here the corner wo ye na say whether oba bema kromo oba si a royal kromo or unya sika pempem kwasika into me worry say be sika into me ne won have intimacy sika into me mount nyoma bebre you can buy it, but for how long can you buy whatever it is? So I think say you should psych yourself up if you want to really get into marriage. Whatever age you are, make sure that is what you're not doing it because everybody else is doing it. You really understand. Make sure that you are prepared. You understand, no matter how old you are.
What were some of the challenges in your marriage?
The kind of childbirth I had was huge. It's not just about the childbirth itself. As soon as what do Krofu from? Then I make a me worry May. That means me by March. Me beside me chiba worry and me by March, April, May, my worry, June, July, menyam. And then it went on. My whole life is transformed, a transition. And then akolani by odi 3 months now. There's been a misunderstanding. The man says ahano because of loss near the end. You have to move. I was also driven from the house. And like I was asked to go. Yeah, because he ordinary manati and no worry me can't. And whatever it is, I cannot say to camera what happened. No, say me mfiwa. Whatever it is, mommy. And me too, I want him to know. No, me background. I didn't come here to collect anybody's stuff.
What was the toughest time when you were in your marriage?
Hey, when I left home, I was already pregnant. So you left
the marriage pregnant?
Yeah, 1 month. Yes, 1 month. The first week into Okitana me got stay. Okase me in na me fee na me say on some because I'm leaving no. I want to make sure say into Oswakola na me call GP. Knows this you don't go to just say pray you need to go to the GP for them to test it themselves. Into ono so me ba girl no and me call testing no who say me nyam. And then I went into a B&B. So my challenge was I've got a 4-month-old baby. I feel like crying now. And then I'm pregnant.
Why would he let you go?
Because it was affecting our misunderstandings was affecting our other older children in the house. Because we had teenagers. What are we trying to model into these children? But me call me call ya mama me baby na me call B&B no. Na fe or ya na dwen sen call mama sign it your friend or say me Tina or friend me Tina back. Na fe or sign say na dwen biom na me ankasa nsuso no. Me who say me call me chibioma. Whatever it is, no real care. I realized it wasn't going to work. So probably he was just processing it. I was also dealing with it. When you have an idea or as a concept builder, when you have a vision of how things, like when you visualize a film or something, the way you see it is different from when it comes to reality. Things add to it. So we were all dealing with the decision we've made. To part ways, but we weren't really we were just separated. We weren't divorced or anything.
So how are you now?
Pardon?
Right now, how is the relationship?
No, we are divorced.
You are not you're divorced. How is the relationship?
No. Yeah, we speak. We he's the only one I've got children with. So yeah, when he helps me with the children. Like when you cannot bring up children by yourself. No matter how, then he's got experience. He's got 4 children. Mine are the last ones, so he's got a lot of experiences. So I depend on him sometimes.
Are you married now?
No.
Why not?
I haven't found anybody that can take me as I am, because I think that.
Have you got a boyfriend?
I had one to just this lockdown. Yeah.
What do you say? Yeah, when you were your husband, is there any possibility there?
No, not at all. The reason why I'm not in love with him. When we say love, one thing is when you're in love with somebody, it will let you do anything even when you're dying. What I say. So I think it's a very good, a very big thing. Africa, so now I'm not in love with him. And you know, means me come back, me hana dream.
So are you saying when you started a relationship there was no love?
You didn't hear what I said. I said I had what I could base love on. I told you that I was going to I liked him, that I know that I want to be with him, and I cannot. I mean, but at the time, no, not a psychological dream for that age, you know. But the second person, I said my second relationship was somebody that said, "Na me feel say me pen enough." Say no matter what, you know, my person in the best now. But because of me independence, I don't know. Say I'm a teenager and if I continue dreams in it didn't work out. And I know it, you know, so no me bohu. I didn't want history to be repeating itself.
What about Abroche? You've seen how Abroche works. The more Abroche, the more Ghana. The end of it.
Originally, me fi Ghana, and I'm so proud to be a Ghanaian. I make kasana me the way at me hano. But right now, no, hana me mana bedi. My be warm. I don't have what it takes to live in Ghana. To be honest with you, and you know, at the chronology, I me feel say me seem now. Be some said, "Dear important na me see mu na me buy na shasi na me buy na me can't say na me risk because na me sika coin in na esi na me man dream say how na me buy best say sika no wa say and me buy na me hu say hat na no a process and I'm befa true process no man tin chana ma cheni nyina che say me buy na de kwa mbe hwehwe no me nya into me decided say I'll go with the flow me nyame acha me mama you know out of it. I experienced a little bit of marriage.
And princess and very handsome.
Oh, I'm telling you, and I thank my husband, my ex-husband, for giving me those precious gifts. I'm so grateful. And then you know, I'm coming to me.
Last time near Chef Stormzy show, no.
Yeah.
I heard your
yeah, my daughter performed at the Brits Award this year. This year, or no, I can't Brit school. Someone said Brit school, and actors will come out. In the school, in the choosing is on represent your mountain. Oh, Davy. So say you go me and ban someone be take you, but senior also ya odi and somebody take you over. A high end chef forever. Until nyame man and sadom ne say obi aba obewo. And you know say do stages ni nyina. Me I for everything that I've gone through my journey, and I'm very grateful to God Almighty so now to the universe. There's been challenging times, there's been rough times. To question now bisa me back no. I mean ka say me peha me pesa me call Ghana. And I mean Ghana so na me won nyoma e se me nyina metimi akosa me mani at some point enye ha na me fi. My be naturalize all right, but who say efie until now I like to be going, I like to be doing stuff there. But for now no. Afen omundu afeya na ba ko na okonanim kakra omunko uni yet ameka se me job wana sikasam na me kan no so me buy no me try sa me I would say that is really me so na me illiterate that be me illiterate me ba no me sure sa na me call me schools ni nyina wo papo me sure sa na me kan ade ba na me nya research na.
The truth is that when you're back in Ghana you feel that life is so easy that getting money. That was the impression I get, especially so from so you. Like,
and then you think you can become a Hollywood star as soon as you get here.
Yeah, you remind me. You just brought this. How come most of the actors and not actors but artists from Ghana, do kuma no munase, settle kuma pair, then they fade out.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Okay, me to me kasama every artist, like I said, obiane ne kombo ha de ne ba be show no obiane ne dia or its name in my own way that time no na enye bad for obiana social media enye very common for you know but me do ha say no say journey na mbe fa no obia obedu na say wan hwehwe ade a wo ye no wo ba fi Ghana no wanya enough research say wo ba wo hwehwe agency bi wa ha wo go straight omo fawa omo ba be ye adwuma ma omo wa ha e difficult to penetrate straight away say agency bi na wa join wo Ghana no de wo ba no ma na say prince or say nom na agency bi na e book you to say last year premier omo ye wa ha na the actors bi be fi Ghana aba no na omo ne omo ni nyina ya omo ne bi na be ye adwuma wa ha omo ne omo ma ye no ya bi wa ha ya promotion ne ade ama omo ansa na omo aba but say wo ba na say enye say agency bi na wa joining na di ofifie ba na for say we Ghana star ntu be do chrome ha wa enda ho keke sa no baby, especially in this COVID idiot. And why you're crying because no theater, nothing. What Baha say a hano ya wakwen ye this until me say no sebi me ban me fan ye brag and yet school na money pay for ye odipa kwana ne destiny ayahye. But all the same, no, I've tried to say because me doing na me uri na me agency bia me de me buy and me be worry and I me win to sa kwan na so na man you know I was doing things on the side like me who sa actors HMDB buy and as Miracle Films DB buy to say man no omo ba no mo koye bibi omo ba na makai say hey sa de me metimi ayo nti omo ma me links ne kakra omo ya de omo ba na me use and that is how I me no sha me obi sa music for you nti me who omo na me use omo link me kai de me ye ne metimi aya at some point I even forgot say I could present. I even forgot I could go on stage. When the camera see me so cry, I'm a fanboy. I'm like, what is this? Because
that is London bed level.
Oh yes, it did level me. I think when I had the two children, and you were asking some of the experiences. One of the experiences that nearly broke me down at crying and said, my son no, me won in 6 months no or fee impossible ball from na. Yeah, so he had to be flown to Great Ormond Street and oh, it was just one time almost first row be on my. What I say, obi a baby Scott won if you bounce yen before na to dey be na kodwa wo yin if court na dey na to mpaso or da court na me yin me kodwa na me dey to ha me da na me ho ayi bibi wo court na me tia or da form enye form bo bia esa kola pressa ni ti ampai bibi anye no yen kitu bi na me dem kodwa na man aduane diye and na me dey to I placed him on the bed. Hey, I saw that he was sweating here and he was jerking. So I called. In those days, you don't call the ambulance because there's nothing. There's no scar. There's nothing. So I called the 911 something, and I told them, "Oh, my son is sleeping, but he's sweating here. But when I called, when I tried to, wake him up, why is he unconscious? What? And Tinyamin Kwana Jane, Mamma, besides, me ambulance, no mobile, the not knowing, and even no one it's no. Bakwa pine and a skull no a crash it with that little fall you see a binumsa and apparently the kind of thing that happened is like a kola yashada so ni tidia pim from the doctor not hearing first this boy is not going to survive and I said what my god this is not what you said to me my baby baba broche menyeska and kola tu ya me dey no dey who to you within a year why did you let him come then around that's not me my mom had a breast cancer and she was in Australia she was in like mama and a couple of days so be with the flying if you Australia or Ghana because she wanted to go home and die. I was like what kind of year is this 2004 and you know you could do one see where you no free you flying if so to we do Great Ormond Street that's an intensive care in the UK the only didn't do what there he may survive but no chances quite 50-50 and I you could do home share in those days they say be my woman na almost 7 here in a year they sealed my house they sealed the room they wouldn't allow anybody in there. So we were camped there for days. My child was actually they almost freezing, I can't even tell. And they heated him like and then he went through all this. When he came back to life, thank God he survived. When he came back to half of him was paralyzed. Wow. Until he had to go through therapy, physio for a long time. And then he back on shifted. So so they put him on something. I'm saying no guaranteed. His total recovery will be when he's 18. And every year for no medical reason. Maybe no break or nani go from like what's it called a cripple for like 3 days for no medical reason. What the require maybe on your fever be happen we bubu egu until yes tam no to say by ni aba fine and na kwa for 3 days after 3 days one sense you na until 2011 and then I was praying I was very desperate I'll take him to Ghana so and no crowd na bomb at na say I can't go and live in Ghana because you cannot even pay for the medical experience and here no because they were prompt like omuma ni bibia na Great Ormond Street sponsored a year like intensive care like baby I don't call her and say you warning kwa if he wasn't here he wouldn't have lived and even anya no kwa yi and every time you have to be going there your baby anka ontna.
Thank God that boy is I've met him.
You should see.
He's one of the nicest boys you can ever meet. These boys now. Maybe I'll show more Kuma. Yo, what's they? No, sister.
Yeah.
He's one of the nicest boys, even the sister. They're the nicest kids you can ever come across. Hearing something like this, honestly.
Yeah. Well, now, so I believe that God wants to use him for something. All these people have stories, so we've told him, and for that reason, we've been monitoring him. And are you okay? And yeah, when it comes to a few things like writing, there will be signs, but or in comparison to what happened, he's grown beautiful. You know, the Ghanaian community here, because of the kind of church I near at the time, so now I was still married, divorcee, and the whole South, hey, calls, everybody was praying. Even the social work, almost the police, they wanted to see what happened. Because when you hear what happened, and say they see, and social service person, and Evans Hunter, actor, no name lady, what has it. The lady had to go and check the story. So me and panic that they were investigating. Yeah, I'm kind of plain clothes, please. They were listening. They wanted to see house for it. But thank God, he's saying, I'm saying, from Ghana to here. It's been God. You can see, sir, God wanted me to leave, to tell my story, and become an inspiration to somebody. This is why I've been kept alive. God is giving me at every stage. There's been challenging. When it was time for me to travel, God felt that it was time. Or they may buy. When it was time for me to marry, or that I do a brea mewo or my even with the challenges, He sustains me. Me do hase. Me was akola. Me try to make school. Maybe I'm still make university. Me kobi. Me kobi na akola no ashada yare. Me ma befi. I tried about 4 colleges. Croydon College, me call 4 times. Me call Merton College. Me call Cashorton College. Nina me call 6 months of no I who go school near frost and hold double fear. You won't go school for you. Over no be baby. I pay no be so now adventure about fear. But when the season is up, you shouldn't give up. Until I make a try and say, whatever it is was part of my journey. God took me through nothing, fame, brought me back, and I'm still going, and I still know that. And yeah, I have a lot to give to the world.
She's a very strong woman. Now, I'm humbled by this. Some of the things all can know, I thought I knew about, honestly. I didn't know the depth of this, honestly.
Yeah, but it's good. It's now when somebody tells you something.
I'll give you a hug.
Oh, it's right. I just thought I say, but and I kind of say whatever nature allows you to go through. Sometimes when you haven't been somewhere, once more people are writing scripts, not much trouble before, and if you haven't been a witch, now trust script, you can tell. Say, nipa we on your witch. The story now watch on, believable, but in real. But when you've been there and then no soon you can't. You don't need to have money to help people. You cannot be a perfect person either. But because of that, I try to be. I understand people from wherever, and I don't judge people until what kind of levels. I something I may call around it. No, I don't know levels. Me to me or be from any culture, and say me to me. It doesn't mean say me perfect, but I like people to accept me as because I will accept you as you are. That is where I find it. People think say Anna, because you're superhuman. Sometimes they forget say what's over flowers. Do you understand? So sometimes I feel and penny I made certain coupon now and say on some because me who be people na mikasa menya na masan I can't stand and see somebody suffer. I might not have money to, even if I have time, I'll do anything.
Seriously, what she has been there for us. There are so many. Look.
It's my family. They've been the same during this COVID. They will look. They didn't want me to go out. They will do everything for me as well. We've been there for each other. We've been there for each other. But that is my nature naturally. Because I make a street, any the other way. And no, I am Mister. Even if there's anything, if I don't have, I don't need to have to give. Even if I'm hungry, I can give whatever I have to somebody. If I don't have clothes, I can give it to. I don't need to have to give on to people. And sometimes I don't even think about the consequences because I've been there. I've been through it. Like I'm saying, I have slept on Accra Street and I have been here. I've seen winter. I've been through the toughest time in the UK and I've still survived it by God's grace. So you can do it. No matter what life throws at you, life is like that. Will be anywhere. Be no rose you because they don't know the real side of life. They don't know the practical side of life. Whether you believe in God or not, just believe that you're here for a purpose, you're here for a reason. When you feel like you have to do something for somebody, do it. and then Nyankopon hwehwɛ another way. And our nature looks for another way to take care of you.
Yeah, switching the kakra. What's that music, Gabriel?
Okay, I think I started music in 1999. My first demo was actually done in Slim Studio. Yes, I did the demo. Is this Asumji Nyame? I shot that video with Pascaline and the others. Yeah. So I know me the figure and I made the back room has say.
Oh, okay.
I made the back room about my new Juma to 2005. I didn't do that, like I told you, that was the journey into 2005, and I'm they call back to Ghana, and PK tried to promote it a bit, but not in Shada. Oh, Parkway, he's been. I knew him from when I was young, like yeah, PK, I love you. Yeah, so he was my manager and meant to me, and I make a promoting, and so that was it. Then I say Jatoho. So that was my first album, Asumjinyame, and then in 2011. Meye Sumamina Okano, and then 2015 Meye Winner, and in music videos. I just do it. I feel pregnant with it. Like I want to just write. To promote it and do stuff, but Mary and I said, I said, come no, a Dawson, like mini manager, my managers. No, I need to look for who's I have to, look for things for them to promote and push it. Make sure I'm sure. I don't think some we enough to get together, and I just leave it. I just leave it there. Even now, and I have one. Pen I'm saying a single into the and no yet. Bless me, and I see much. You've heard that, yes. You have it. I know that near Vivian Joe. Means fan command.
There was one that you did, I remember with is it
Nasi?
Yeah.
And only Winner. That was my third album. And they are full they are full albums. My album's 3.
Wow.
But I don't promote none of them. But this one, the single there, by God's grace, I read it pad. Sanya Kovic the Ankaba. I was just I waited and come a video and find everything. But Suma me no wo. Suma me there okay. That's a way forward for us. I love you.
Thank you.
Corona is to keep it safe because we are in that era. If we want to stay alive, you pesa ya be corona and ye fi ho your face bibia won ebre be twemako nti munyina mun keep it safe. Protocol guidelines no mo dia mind mo observe me hu say before bebre ebi no bo feel say enye real be person me dey we ka ho bebre me share obeti na me kita face mask but nyina kata ya nima ye be say ninjas ne ne mo kasa nti we decided say ba ko be kata na nim na ba ko yi na nim me na volunteer enti na me kita mask no ba each time no me try say me follow mo guidelines ni nyina wo ye no na say wo ye gidie ne me nkasa nya me be ba gi unti no won practice the medical analysis the scientific na omodi amayen guidelines no omodi ama mun keep ni nyina na afa mun fa mpai bo so nka ho na ni nyina ba betwe makọ nti mun keep it safe. Why? I need you alive, so stay alive for me and keep safe.
I'm off. Thanks for being with us. You better shave you.